Well, the Los Angeles 2028 Olympic Games are shaping up to be a political spectacle of failure, much like the Paris Games. Now, not only did the Paris Games offend a bunch of people with this trans Last Supper sacrilege, but they also showed that when you put your focus on eco-friendly, carbon neutral, what have you, you make people extremely uncomfortable. The athletes going to Paris last year may have thought they were going to get some great haute cuisine, because, French were the inventor of that. But no, in fact, they had food shortages. Athletes were starving because the organizers tried to offer a 1/3 plant-based menu. And athletes who are competing, most of them do not want that. They were also rationing meat and eggs because of high demand. The British team hired a cook because the food in the Olympic Village was so insufficient. Organizers went without air conditioning because they thought we're going to really save the planet. And athletes complained because it's the middle of summer in France. It's hot. So a lot of them went to find hotels with AC. Organizers put these recycled beds made of cardboard in the Olympic Village. And athletes said these were terrible. They couldn't get proper rest to compete. The American basketball players were like, we're 7 feet tall.
Can you imagine an American basketball player sleeping on cardboard? It would literally collapse under the weight.
And they were like, absolutely not. So
what about
Jokic?
Isn't weightlifting in the Summer Olympics? That's not a Winter Olympic sport, right?
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
So you're gonna put a weightlifter on that cardboard bed?
Yeah, like a heavyweight boxer is gonna lay on that. Not for long.
What the hell? I'm sleeping on a bunch of comic book boxes? Like, what the hell is this?
It's like the Princess and the Pea.
Yeah.
So it was a big joke. Well, Los Angeles thinks that joke is worth repeating because nothing's new in Hollywood. They like sequels. So they're going to just do the whole same thing. Here is their sustainability plan for the 2028 games. They want to take those green initiatives and kick it up a notch by 10%. They're saying we want to beat the carbon footprint of the Paris Games by 10%. So athletes and visitors, bring your own food and bedding. They're calling this a no-build and transit-first plan. Translation, there's no new venues for the athletes. There's no new place to stay. And you're not going to be able to get around Los Angeles. They're saying that the only transit they'll have is the first and last mile, which is a total bait and switch from their Olympic bids. Now, if you follow, when a city wants to host the games, they compete with several other cities and put together these plans, and they woo the IOC, the Olympic Committee, and they say, it's going to be so great. Los Angeles is going to look amazing. People are going to love it. We're going to do all these awesome things. Well, here is Los Angeles bid for the games, and they have totally thrown it all in the trash. This, where they said we're going to have new accommodations and new transportation in Los Angeles if they win the games, they're not going to do that. Let's start with the accommodations. In their pitch, Los Angeles promised an additional 10,000 hotel rooms. That was the hook, because it's hard to get a room in Los Angeles and it's expensive. But in their so-called sustainability plan, there's nothing. They're calling this, again, a no-build games. Translation, good luck finding a hotel room. We didn't build those, and we're probably not going to. We're not going to do that. We're going to try and rebuild, the Pacific Palisades a little bit, but we don't have the bandwidth. You're on your own. As for transportation, if you've ever lived or been to LA, public transit is already a joke. And in the original bid, they bragged about a $300 billion infrastructure, including the Purple Line subway to connect UCLA, where the Olympic Village will be, with downtown. That was a big selling point. The updated plan, all of that is suddenly described as independent of the games. In other words, not our problem. Maybe it'll be done by 2028, maybe not. If you take a look at this is the Metro timeline. It said it'd be done by 2025. It's not going to. They literally don't know when they're going to finish it. Kind of like the railroad in California, from northern to southern California. They just, I don't know. Who's to ask? So it will probably not be finished by the games. They're saying that's an independent project. We have nothing to do with it. So we don't know. You're kind of on your own battling the traffic, and then they're told to hop on a tram or a bike for that, transit, and then they may have something for either the first or the last mile when you're getting out. That's it. That's all they can do. No major transportation, just like some buses. So they're not promising that anymore. And they're framing this again as like it's beyond our scope, even though it was clearly in the bid. LA visitors will be on their own. And here's how many people they're expecting for 30 days, 206 competitions, 183 for the Paralympics, over 11,000 athletes. And what does it say for fans? 10 to 15 million ticketed fans. With no public transportation, no promises of extra hotel rooms, nothing, because it's no build.
God.
In other words, we're doing it as is. We're going to do it live.
To get somewhere in Los Angeles takes like 40 minutes no matter what you're doing. Like just to go down the street takes like 40 minutes.
Right.
Now you're going to add another that many people to the mix?
10 billion. What did they say? Yeah. 10 million.
10
million extra fans plus
God.
11,000 athletes. Plus their coaches, plus the media. And they're saying, we're not going to build anything new. We got this. It's fine how it is. But they say they're going to incentivize walking and biking. So they might have some bike shares, which like, if we wanted to bring our kids to see a basketball game, we're not going to one of them is not even, she's 8. She can't do a ride share. She can't do her own bike share. So like, that's not a sustainable way for a family. So we're all going to have to drive in LA traffic, which is a nightmare. And bring your own water bottle. In the summertime, right. And Philip was bringing up before the commercial break that LA has a smog problem. There's no way really to address this for the games. As a Northern Californian, when I was growing up, regularly they would tell us you can't do PE today because the smog is too bad. So we just couldn't do it. How are they going to have these athletes doing athletic events in LA smog? How can they secure that and then brag about being eco-friendly? That I don't understand. Bring your own water bottle because they're going to be serving drinks in these reusable cups. I don't know if you saw the closing ceremonies at the Paris Games where they handed it off to Los Angeles and it was like Tom Cruise and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Well, they're pretty excited that they had the drinks that they sold in reusable cups. And so they're going to keep doing that, which means it'll surge the price of your drinks, and then you'll get some money back possibly if you return the cups, much like a European Christmas market when you get the mugs. They're going to do that, which means everything will be super expensive. So we are taking bets on whether or not this will be Paris 2.0, an eco-friendly disaster or not. Let us know what you think. And then when that inevitably happens, we'll come back around and say, we told you so.
Do you remember the opening ceremonies where you had like the Satanists? It was like the satanic Last Supper. They were
in
like,
Paris?
And they were like mocking, they were like mocking Christians, so
100%. The Hollywood one will probably be full of like cult rituals.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be, get Beyonce involved. Yeah, there it is.
Right. Yeah. Oh. Well, they're doing it right in front of us. So, all right, let me know what you think. How can they just do this? Like make this amazing bid to host the games and be like, we're not doing any of that. We're gonna wing it. It's gonna be like this.
Yeah.
That's fun, right?